afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are. This is Beverly Fells Jones, the Silver Fox of Consciousness, and I just want to welcome you to our show today, the Good Life Show and Commanding Your Life simulcast. As always, I enjoy welcoming people to this show, and today is no different. Today I am welcoming Jacklyn Shapiro, and she is the managing partner at Shapiro, Hurst and Associates LLC. It is an accounting credit firm. Anyway, she'll tell you more about what she does. We're going to be talking about Dare to Grow Texas, and this is The Good Life. And today I am talking with a fantastic lady that I have known for a while. I just haven't seen her in quite some time. And her name is Jacklyn Shapiro. And it's not Jacqueline, it's Jacklyn, yes?
Yes, Jacklyn.
Okay, Jacklyn. And she is a credit expert and advocate for consumers and businesses across the country. So she's not just in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And her experience spans over 20 years in credit and finance industries. She's demonstrated a passion. Well, you got to have a passion for it to be in it for that long. All right. And she spends countless hours researching and giving lectures and community education programs regarding credit and how important it is. She dedicated her time to networking and creating a pipeline of business for the organization, resulting in, get this, a 65% increase in revenue in the last 24 months. And I'm telling you, that's a great thing in any business. So by doubling the number of clients that the company's services, she has done a fantastic job. And Jacklyn's been on guest shows such as the Automotive Edge, that's interesting, with Kurt Chase, Real Talk with Willie Lambright, Mike Citron's National Credit Webinar Series, ESPN, and a noted speaker across the country. So I am just really just excited to have her today and to have the opportunity to interview her on my show, right? I'm with all the big guys. So anyway, Jacklyn, welcome to the show.
Good morning, Beverly, and thank you so very much. It's a pleasure to be here with you.
Yes, and it's a wonderful thing. Now, Jacklyn and I were talking before the show to talk about, well, what would be best for you to know about? And so something's happened in the news that I totally missed. Well, they got all the other stuff in the news, but this is something that everybody needs to pay attention to. And this is a breach with Equifax?
Correct. Yeah, they have had a massive data breach within their systems. So we have currently about 140 million people that have been compromised, and I expect that there'll probably be Senate hearings and some government intervention because of the latitude of the breach.
So what would a person like me do to protect myself from the hackers using my data?
The best proactive stance when something like this happens, and I'm a huge fan of credit monitoring. So if you have a credit monitoring service that you're using, then you should be getting alerts if any inquiries are made into your credit, if any new accounts are opened. And if you have that credit monitoring service, it would allow you to be very proactive and immediately get anything that's out there shut down. Now, the other thing that can be done at a credit bureau level is what's called a credit freeze. Now, we hear a lot about putting a fraud alert on your credit report. And fraud alerts are, Beverly, they're just really not effective for protection purposes. What that really means, if I put a fraud alert on my credit report, means that if I go to get credit, a creditor should call to verify my identity. But the vast majority of the time, they do not. So if you put a credit freeze on your credit reports, that means that no one can access them in any shape, form, or fashion, not even you, unless you call and lift the freeze to do so. So if someone is has credit monitoring, and they're constantly looking at that and making sure that everything is where it needs to be, that there's no new activity. That's a very good way to be proactive on that. But then again, if something does get breached, immediately freeze the reports and prevent further activity from happening when it comes to credit.
Very good. Well, I didn't know that difference between the fraud alert and the freeze.
Mm-hmm.
I have worked at Nebraska Furniture Mart, and I work where we take the credit information.
Right.
And there are people who they have to call and unfreeze it. But the other one is the fraud alert. That's the one thing I know about Nebraska. If there's a fraud alert, we've got to get all kind of ID before they'll go through and do that. So, but the freeze, I've seen that one in action. You know,
yes.
Yes, they have to call. I guess there's a password or something they have to give in order to unfreeze it temporarily. Like you can, you know, unfreeze it for this person's going to call you to check my credit. One of the things that I think irritates me sometimes, well, it does irritate me, is if you're going car shopping and, you know, they tell you they have to take your driver's license if you're going to go out and do, you know, a test drive. But what I'm finding out is they're running your credit when you're going out to do the test drive. And how does that affect, if I'm going out to 4 or 5 dealerships, how does that affect my credit that day or that week?
That is a great question, actually. So if we look at FICO and the way that FICO calculates your credit scores and takes into account for inquiries, and I get this question a lot. FICO knows that you're going to shop for a car, and they know you're going to shop for a mortgage. Now, these are the only 2 exceptions to the rule. But if you go out and you could have 15 credit pulls on that automotive shopping list. All right, so you go to the dealership, and they've got 5 banks that they're going to look at, see where they can get the best deal. FICO knows this, so they take it into account, and this is one of those areas where 15 credit pulls, 30 credit pulls, as long as they're in a 30-day period, they only count once. And so really, at the end of the day, you're looking at losing 2 to 3 points on the credit scores.
All right, yeah, I heard the other way around, that it would cost you if you were doing that. Okay, well, good. So credit monitoring, I know there's multiple types out there. You know, I'm with AAA, so AAA offers it, and then you've got that big guy that advertises a lot on TV with their $1 million guarantee, and then there's just a number of them. Legal Shield has one, so there's all types of monitoring. Now, is there a difference in the level of monitoring that they do, or is it basically they pull the same kind of stuff because that's what the 3 credit bureaus give them?
Actually the bureaus themselves, the big 3 as we like to call them, they actually own the vast majority of all credit monitoring services out there. So I've got a lot of clients will come to me and they'll say, well, you know, I've got Credit Karma. Credit Karma is a great free service, but if you're really looking for something more accurate, I will tell you personally, I use privacyguard.com for my own reports. Privacy Guard is really good. A lot of our clients like it. They've got a 14-day trial for $1. It's really about $20 a month at the end of the day. And gives you a fresh report every 30 days, shows you all the alerts. And so it's, as far as having a really full service, they've got a good service. Now, you can use, like you said, there are hundreds of them out there. And so you may like ScoreSense better, or you may like myfico.com better. And anytime you're going to go out there, and just as a small side note, if you're going to go shop or finance a home, a car, anything, MyFICO is going to get you the closest to what your actual FICO is, but you've got 60 different versions of FICO out there. And another one coming out pretty soon. So that's going to be the closest to what your actual FICO score is going to be, but it's never going to really match completely to what the score is for a mortgage, which is going to differ from an automobile, which is going to differ from your insurance company, which is going to differ from your credit cards.
So you're saying the FICO score is different based on what you're doing?
And they can customize it too for an individual company. So if an individual company comes to FICO and says, you know, we like your model, but we want to put more emphasis on our clients on time, or we want to put more emphasis on how much debt load are they carrying. So FICO goes in there and they've got thousands of customized models of FICO as well.
Oh, so yeah, you've got this one score that everybody goes for, right? Everybody wants 800, everybody wants whatever. But based on what the lender is looking for, they can get a special score for them.
That's correct.
Okay. All right. So what got you into doing credit?
I love that question. I started off in the automotive industry way back in, I guess, the early 90s. And I started looking at credit reports. And I was like, what is this? And what is that? And, and nobody in the dealership could answer the questions. You know, they're like, oh, you just need to look and see if this is on time. That's really what you need to focus on. What's the score? And I was like, no, but I want to know what, I started diving into it and like everything else. I'm like, no, but what is this? And I really wanted to know more. And as time progressed, my husband at the time and I, we were a team in the leasing industry. And one of the guys, they were closing down this company. The owner wanted to retire. And so one of the guys I'd worked with in the past, he calls me and says, Jackie, you've got to come meet this guy that I'm working with. You're going to love this. And I'm very open-minded. So I was like, okay, I come sit and listen. Sure. And so they started talking about credit, and they started putting this information out there, and the light bulb, my brain just immediately went, I get this. I get this completely. This works with my brain. It's like a scientist doing science.
Yes.
It was just one of those things that truly immediately hit me, and I was very passionate about it, and I knew this was the way I can help thousands of people really conquer, sometimes their biggest fear of, oh, my credit's horrible, or their biggest dream of, oh no. And so it was really a way for me to contribute and give back at the same time as following something I'm very passionate about.
All right. Well, wonderful. So did you wind up buying that business or just going to work for the guy?
No.
Or just learned about it and then you...
Well, right. So I went to work for that company and I learned and I expanded my knowledge as much as I could. I was recruited by another company, and it was just an offer I couldn't turn down. I continued my knowledge base, and it wasn't very long after that I had what I call one of those mad scientist moments. And there were, these several different ideas out there, and I thought, wow, wait a minute. What if we could put this idea and we put all these things together into one really high-powered process? And so one of my good friends had called me not too long after that while I was playing with this thing and putting it together. And I had told my friend, because he was just in a horrible situation. There were foreclosures and repossessions and charged off student loans and everything you could possibly imagine. And a really reputable person said, I love you, but I can't help you. So I told my friend, I said, look, let's do this. If you want to, I came up with this thing and I really want to try it out. If you want to be my guinea pig, you just pay the cost and let's see what happens.
Okay.
And so 90 days later, we pulled his Equifax report and 97% of everything that was there was gone, wonderful, including 9 foreclosures. Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So from that point, it was really a launching pad. And, my business partner and I, we had really built 90% of the company that we were with on our own backs. And honestly, Beverly, I had one of those moments where I was working 14 hours a day as a single mom, and my little girl came up to me and she said, Mommy, don't it matter anymore? It was one of the most heart-wrenching things ever. I just felt like my heart had been carved out of my chest. And so I went to the people I was working with. I said, look, this is what's happening, and I really need to take a week off, and I need to reconnect with my child. I said, this is not the mom I want to be. I got back. I took her to Disney World.
Wonderful.
And so, yeah, it was great. We played like little kids. And so I got back, and I really got chewed out. Big time. I left the manager's office, and I was like one of those cartoon characters, steam coming out of my ears and my head on fire kind of thing.
You got chewed out for taking the week off, or after the
Because, yeah, they knew I was taking a week off, and they knew why. But I think it was because no one else in the office knew how to do what I was doing.
Okay. They realized how important you were.
And so, it was probably a very tough week for them, because my phone was off. I was, no, this is my time with my daughter, and we're really going to, it's her and I at this moment. It needs to be.
Yes.
So, yeah. So anyway, that led to where we're at today with Shapiro-Hurst and Associates, and I couldn't be happier. I love what I do, and I just feel blessed.
And I can see it in your spirit, the idea of you're a giver. That is what I feel, because you've given us a lot of information that some people, they'll give us a little tiny bit. I mean, the piece about the different kind of FICO scores, I mean, I never knew that. So you're going to be at Dare to Grow Texas. You're going to be one of our speakers, and thankfully you're not opposite me. So I can come see you and listen to you talk, because yeah, I'm at a time of my life where no, I'm not buying a new house. I downsized to where I need to be. If I buy a car, it's going to be after this one is dragged to the junkyard, that kind of stuff. So I'm not so worried about credit score, other than the fact you just talked about it affects your insurance and those kinds of things. So you do want to be concerned about it. But the key that I think a lot of young people are learning as I see them come in, apply for credit, they have none, is that you need some form of credit in your life. Even if you pay cash most of the time, you do need to have some credit. You go to a hotel and they don't really want to take cash, or your debit card is blocked for a certain amount of money. So you want to be able to do that. So you're going to be talking about credit is your life at Dare to Grow Texas. So how would you like my audience, why would they come to your session?
Well, because credit's the foundation of our financial wealth and security moving forward. It truly is. It really determines how much we pay for utilities, insurance rates. If you're buying a home, on the normal home loan, Beverly, just 2 points of interest, or 2 points on the loan, is $100,000 more that you pay. So having those higher credit scores and optimizing them, it not only saves thousands and thousands of dollars over your lifetime, but it also gives you the flexibility if one of those life events happen, and we've all experienced them if we're old enough. And if we're not yet, then trust me, you will at some point. It's the way life works. But if you have great credit, it's the difference between being able to walk into your banker and saying, I need a $10,000 signature loan today, and walking out 20 minutes later with it in your account, or being really stuck or potentially in a bad situation that you have no immediate solution for.
Okay. Well, that is important, and most people, I think, don't realize its importance till they need credit or they want credit, and then that's when they realize, oh, I've messed up. Now I've got to go and do all this work in order to make my credit better so that I can purchase what I need.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So one of the questions that came up into my head is, are you originally from Texas or somewhere else?
No, actually, my family's been here for generations.
Okay.
So my daughter is, I think, fourth or fifth generation now.
Okay.
So we've been here. Yeah, the family's been here a while.
Okay. So you're still a single mom at this
I
point?
am.
Okay.
I am.
Any grandbabies or anything like that, or not yet?
No, not yet. She turns 16 at the end of this month.
Oh,
So
well, yeah, no, we don't.
we're in full-blown teenage mode at
Yes,
first.
yes. I was thinking maybe she might have been a little older, so no. Okay, no, we don't want to be grandparents yet. Anyhow, well, good. So, what do you do for relaxation? I mean, I can tell you really enjoy what you do because that energy is there. But what do you do to let off steam or to just for your downtime? Is there anything special you do? Okay.
I love to be outdoors. So I just took my, are we kind of fading there? But I love to be outdoors. I just took my daughter to Colorado. We went whitewater rafting
Okay.
and horseback riding through the Garden of the Gods, and went up Pikes Peak and did a little hiking, and so we really enjoyed that. And even the teenager loved the whitewater rafting, which was great.
Yes, that's water and it feels good, and I wouldn't do it. Anyhow, no rapids for me. If there was one person that you could sit down and have dinner with and have a conversation with, living or dead, who would it be?
Wow.
I know, I said one. I can give you two if you want.
Living, I would say Tony Robbins is just an amazing inspiration out there as far as knowledge and understanding, the human emotion and the transformations that take place in people, going from, bad situations and making a decision to make your life a better place and really committing to that.
Yes.
Wow. I think if I really had to go back in time, I would love to meet Albert Einstein.
Yes.
I would love to meet Albert Einstein. I just think that, what we know about him from history and him being so quirky about things like not tying his shoes, I think that would just be extraordinarily interesting to see how that mind really worked.
Yes. Yes, that's a good one. Yes. Schweitzer too.
Schweitzer, yes.
Yes, right. All those, yeah. So you're scientific mind too. Anyway, well, fantastic. If someone wanted to get in touch with you, because this is going to air before and after Deer Grove, Texas, where would they get in touch with you?
They can call me directly at my office, which my direct line is 469-619-0717. I also let my clients reach out to me by cell phone, which is 214-662-0072, or by email at Jackie, Jackie, at Shapiro, Shapiro, a little dash or hyphen, Hurst, HURST.com.
Okay. And I'll put that down on the video in letters so they can see. Because we keep freezing up a little bit. Anyhow, I want to
Thank you, Beverly.